What is up, everybody? The boys are back again 2 times this week. It feels good to go, 2 times in a week. Get a little consistency going.
Oh yeah.
Go, Bobby. How we doing? Obviously, we're without Joe tonight, but so you're stuck with the three of us for a little
He's
bit.
in the chat.
But he's in the chat. See, he already has crazy FOMO, per usual. But Ghost, Bobby, how we doing, boys? Long time no see.
I know. It feels like forever. I know it was 2 days ago, but I missed the boys, and now we're back. Too bad we didn't have Joe Robbie, but logistics expert out there is out there slinging hats. Man, they went. It makes me so happy some days when I log on and I see like 3/4 of our hats are sold out immediately. What was it? 1 day, 2 days?
Oh, it was like an hour.
It's like an hour. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we don't have Joe, but we substituted him pretty well. We was talking to Calvin backstage, man. Super cool dude. He said he's ready to get weird. First podcast ever. So he's bringing the heat. Calvin's going to do about 40, 45 with us. After that, we're going to stay on. We're going to talk a little bit about the Jonnu situation today. I do want to give a shout out to Reason from Finside the NFL. The guy, he came on earlier this week, showed us a lot of love after that, a couple shows. So if y'all haven't seen Reason, I'm sure most of you have, go show him some love. And we appreciate all the love he's given us lately.
100%. 100%. All right. Well, without further ado, we got a great guest on tonight. We're joined by a man who defines persistence. He's a linebacker who's battled his way through multiple stints with the Giants, the Patriots, the Finns, and now the Vikings, all while going undrafted in 2017. Oh, he also won a Super Bowl ring. And oh, yeah, he was also drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals in baseball. He is a man of many talents. So without further ado, everybody, let's get it rolling.
I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now.
Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. Off the back. Two on the move. Going deep. Speed race. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
It gets me fired up every time. What's going on, everybody? We got another face up here. Calvin Munson, what is going on, man? How we doing?
What's going on, you guys? How you doing?
We're doing great, man. We appreciate having you on. I think this is one of the first. How many times did we do this, Bob? Have two different podcasts in the same week? I think maybe one other
Not
time.
many.
But we are pulling up again this week. We were super excited when we found out that you were coming on. So we appreciate all your time and everything. We got a fun show, and I think to start everything off, Calvin, I think this is like kind of like a tell-all podcast, and the Dolphins fans have been really thinking about this, and I really need your opinion. And you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but we have been, doing some research, and I got to ask you a question, dude, and you got to be as honest as possible, okay?
All right.
Are you Hugh Wang?
I was not expecting that, but to set the record straight, yes.
We got Hugh Wang.
We got Hugh Wang on the podcast.
Oh,
Breaking news. Hugh Wang on. Dude, you got to tell us that story, man.
Bro, so I don't even know what year it was. So Andrew Van Ginkel and his wife Sam Van Ginkel, my wife Haley and I, we got to be pretty close with them, and so they went back home one off season, and we were kind of in between places, and so they let us crash at their crib for probably two months, and so we stayed there. We called it house sitting, but he was hooking us up for that time. But I logged in on all of his TV stuff, like HBO, like all that stuff, and some of them I have goofy names. And I must have left it. And so I think I was in New England. I was somewhere. And Sam texted up his wife and was like, "Did you guys watch the HBO Hard Knocks?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I haven't seen it." They're like, "You need to go check it out." First thing I see, Hugh Wang. And I'm like, "Oh, my gosh." But then I was pissed because he was getting all the credit for it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to him. I'm going to let him shine for a little bit. But deep down, I know it's mine.
AVG getting all the credit for Ewing. Well, I'm glad we solved that case, man, because that was dude. I think they made accounts. There's an account floating out there on Twitter. It's like literally dedicated to Ewing. It says Big Dolphins accounts. It's actually really funny.
I love that, dude. I'm all for it. I hope it goes on forever.
I think the funniest part about that was like how much money he makes now, and he was like live on Hard Knocks with like a burner account. It was like, what are we doing here? It was like an Asian guy's name. It was like, what?
Yeah, come on, man. What are we doing?
So
He's
good.
the perfect guy to do it too. Like if I could have had it happen to anybody, I'm so glad it was him. Just how it is sometimes. He probably froze, didn't know what to do.
Dude,
How did he take it? Like, was he embarrassed, or like did he laugh?
I think he was just more so embarrassed because it was like during the segment or whatever. But he's got a good sense of humor, so I know he thought it was funny.
I think that's what made it special. Like it was like a sentimental, like people crying, like a backstory about him and his wife. And he's like, we just sitting down as a family going turn on some Hard Knocks. And it was like, Hugh Wang. Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Wait, so that was the first time that he actually saw that? Like they caught that live?
I don't know if he had to have known before.
He might have just forgot that it was there.
Yeah, you forget that. Like
the type of dude probably forgot, didn't even care. It was just like, oh.
That's funny, dude.
It's awesome.
It's too good.
So jumping right to the next thing, you've, for whatever reason or not, you've spent a lot of time around Brian Flores. It seems like y'all can't get away from each other. That's a hot topic in Dolphin land. It doesn't have to be a bad topic, but like, tell us your perspective on like your working relationship with him as a coach. Like, who is Brian Flores to you?
Oh man, I know it's a tender topic. I know people got their feelings. I mean, for me, I thought he was a great coach. I met him in New England when I first got there in 2018. He was the D coordinator, and I loved the defense that he ran. I picked it up quick. I just thought, it was awesome how he let his players play. And they saw, that New England defense that I went on that year, they were very good. Got some high veteran guys that were able to call their own stuff, but he let them play. And so I liked that about him early on. And then when he came to Miami and then brought me down at the end of that year, I didn't really know how he was going to try to run it. I figured he was going to bring some of his New England vibe down, and I didn't know how it was going to go, but I don't know. I could tell some guys weren't taking it in as much and I guess adapting to it. But I remember when I first got there, because there was only 2 weeks left of the season when I first got there. Like my first practice, he's blowing up the defense. He was like, Calvin, like you're used to this. Like you've seen me like this before. And I was like, it's not even that bad, but okay. And so, all those guys were saying, he was on them all year. And that was a rough year for him too. I don't even know what were the Dolphins that year.
That was
9-8.
19.
We barely missed the playoffs.
Yeah, it was the last game, or it was second last game. Might have been the last game. Was the Titans game that was freezing,
right? Yeah.
No. I'm talking 2019.
Oh, 2019.
Oh, first year, huh?
Before. Okay, yeah.
So I got there too. We won the last 2 games of the year. We went up to New England and won, so that was cool. But
that was Brady's last year. Yeah.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but no. Flo, great coach. Sorry, I got off topic. Great coach. I definitely have a huge respect for him just because he's basically kept me in the league with opportunities, for multiple years. So I love and respect him.
Sure.
And so and especially playing for him, off the field, I didn't really talk to him that much, but as a coach, I respected him a lot, especially a defensive minded. I know the offensive guys didn't get as along with him. So for me, it was easier, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And, keeping in the league at different points and different teams, especially with your career. We've heard it from players before who were undrafted free agents on this podcast, plenty of them. But it's sort of like an additional respect that has to be earned when you're an undrafted free agent compared to a guy coming in camp that was, 1, 2, or 3, even like 5, 6 pick in the draft. How true is that? And what was it like walking into an NFL locker room the first time?
So I went to the Giants and it was great, Eli Manning, just OBJ, a bunch of those dudes. I was just, it was kind of surreal at the same time. And then
Sure.
undrafted, I didn't really know what to expect being undrafted. You're like, oh, you have these moments of, oh, I made it. And then it's kind of like, all right, well, now like the real stuff starts. And so I didn't really know what to make. I was just going to like, hey, whatever God's plan is, it is, undrafted. It doesn't seem like the best, but, there could be opportunity there whenever he's going to give me. I'm just going to try to maximize. And he definitely had a plan for me. Just the fact that I'm still kind of here hanging around, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that first year, it was the hardest year of my life. That rookie year was miserable. We were horrible as a team. It was a grind, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think a lot of people knew that you were also like drafted in baseball, which is sick, by the way. And being our resident baseball guy, I had to ask. So, like, what position did you play? Did you actually play any single A ball before you decided on going to San Diego State for football? Like, kind of walk us through like your baseball background.
Oh man, so growing up, I thought baseball was my thing. Like I love baseball, low key a little more than football growing up. I was better at it. I don't want to say I only got drafted because I threw hard, but I was a decent pitch. I got drafted for pitching, but I played first base. I was a pretty good hitter. But I just threw hard in high school. And so I got picked up late in the 31st round by the Cardinals. So that was cool because it was a hometown team because I grew up in St. Louis. So that was pretty sweet. And I was already committed to San Diego State at the time. And so I think I took like 2 weeks, kind of thought about it and was like, I'd rather go play. My goal growing up was always, I want to play college football, but pro baseball. And after college football, that dream was kind of over, but yeah. And so I didn't play any single A, but I actually played 1 year of baseball at San Diego State.
Sick.
Yeah. It was kind of a joke for me. I just kind of rode the bench, but I missed a lot of class. So it was fun.
Yeah, being a baseball player in college probably, especially San Diego State, that was probably a fun time for you.
Oh, it was great. We were good. We were good too, but yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun.
I feel like San Diego State's sneaky good at a few number of sports.
Oh yeah, I mean I think we had some good. My wife played soccer. Their soccer team was good. They won a bunch of. Our football team was good at the time. Baseball was good. So we were when I was there, we were popping. I don't know how they're doing now. Football team's horrible now, but when I was there, it was a good spot to be.
Yeah.
That's where the punter, Matt Azaza came from?
Yeah. I wasn't there with him, but I know he went there.
The punt god?
Punt god, bro. That dude, some of his punts.
Dude, that leg is
unbelievable.
Yeah. Whenever he's kicking.
Just unreal. Is he on Kansas City now?
Yeah. Well, he went to he did go to Kansas City. Is he back with them now?
Because he went to the Bills originally.
Right?
Oh yeah, he was with the Bills and then he went to Kansas City. Yeah.
Bills drafted him and then cut him because of that stuff. And then I think Kansas City was just like, yeah, we don't mind character issues here. That's fine. Come over here.
No, he was acquitted. He was
all alleged.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat, man. Yeah, focus. So anyways, obviously you're not with the Dolphins now. You haven't been for a couple years. But a guy that everybody's pretty familiar with here, Tua, came to your wedding, correct?
He did. Tua, great guy. I love that dude.
Dude, there's rumor that you're actually to blame for him going golfing all the time during the Flores era.
Oh, wait, it cut out. Say it again.
There's rumors that you're actually the guy to blame for him going golfing all the time during the Flores era.
Oh, I was a part of that golf crew. I don't know if I would say I'm the blame, but I was definitely there. Yes.
That's incredible.
That's how me and Tua started bonding over golf. We love golfing.
Yeah, I heard you're pretty
righty, right?
What was that?
Tua golf's righty, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy.
I think he does everything righty except throw.
Throw, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how he does everything right. He just throws lefty. I feel like that's the.
And it's at like the top 0.0000001% of the world that he does something with his left hand as a righty. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Who was the best golfer amongst that group?
Oh, I hate to say it, but Jason Sanders.
You are talking to number. Now, don't even get me started. I am number one Jason Sanders stand on that damn X app, dude. Me, man.
Oh
dude,
my God.
I gas that guy all the time.
Too much, dude. My wife does not like Jason. No, I was kidding. But we golf a good amount. He's legit.
So you're saying you and Jason are close.
We're pretty close, yeah.
So you could get him on the podcast.
Bobby's
I asked him. He's kind of a great dude.
Listen, Calvin, we'll send you 2 hats.
Office at first. I'll have to ask him.
yeah.
We'll send you 2 hats, one for you and one for him. Just help us out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll if I see him this weekend, I'll ask him.
Let's go.
Number 1 Jason Sanders stand sitting right here, man.
He's not lying though. Actually,
Not even a kid, man.
Yeah, he's
love
being
it.
100% truthful.
He seemed brave at one time. Ghost seemed brave for standing for Jason, because looking back now is stupid, because there was a time he had like a slump where he missed like 2 field goals. Looking back now, he's like the most accurate kicker in Dolphins history. So like,
yeah,
at one time it was a really brave thing, but now looking back, it's like, oh yeah, you just rooted for an all-pro guy. So it's like, makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, he's good, and he's funny too. When he's like missing a couple of kicks, he doesn't get down. He knows he's still got it, so he's got that confidence. You got to
That's
love
awesome
that
though.
too.
Did you hear a lot of sometimes like kickers head cases and whatnot, especially when they get in their head and all that? But he's over there. He's like, dude, I got this. That's awesome.
That's what makes him a freaking good golfer too. Is he brings that
Yep.
or brings his golf thing to kicking, one or the other. I don't know which he does.
Dude,
And
that
if
makes sense.
If you think about it, like golfing is kicking, but with clubs. Like easy to slice, easy to hook it. Like,
Oh, you should hear whenever we go, everyone's like, "Oh, Jason, just pretend you're hitting the ball through the uprights right here." He's like, "Yeah, okay, I got it."
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
I'll never forget. And this is why I've always wanted to get him on here. I remember one of those nights the team went to the hockey game, and dude, Jason's in the corner. Everybody's posted up for a picture, and Jason's just like 2 beers, like. And I've always been like, dude, he was meant for the dive bar. That would be awesome.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
Double
ask-
fist Sanders.
so we talk a little bit about golf and getting 2 away from practice. It's fine. It's if that's what you want to do. But if you're not playing football and baseball and golf, and what keeps you busy, man?
Oh, hanging out with family. My family's in Tennessee, but I try to make it a point to go see them as much as I can. My wife and I, and then her family's in Northern California. We like to see them, and then me and her, we hang. We're kind of homebodies. We like to be kind of low key, do our own thing, kind of hang out. We like to watch shows. We're believers, so we try to get in our word and kind of do Bible study stuff and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it sounds bad, but if I'm not golfing, I'm probably just hanging out.
Yeah.
Or
Don't sound bad at all.
Yeah, it sounds like a dream, to be fair.
yeah. It sounds like you.
No, it sounds like a dream.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dream.
Let's go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with your wife or play golf, or football. I mean, doesn't sound too bad.
Not a bad gig, but one of these days I'm gonna have to get a real job and see where it goes from there.
Get a real job. Come on, man.
So obviously you played for a few different franchises, the Patriots and the Dolphins a couple times each. What was like the hardest roster you ever had to make?
Hardest roster I ever made.
Is there like one that sticks out?
I mean, probably the 2019 Patriots.
True.
I mean, that one was tough. I got put on practice squad that year, and then that was the year I ended up signing down to Miami. But I mean, Miami had some good rosters too. I mean, I don't think there's really ever been a training camp where I felt safe.
Right.
I've always been kind of like how they used to do it. They would kind of start weeding guys out through training camp, and like after certain games, they'd have to make certain cut things. And so
Right.
I knew I'd make it kind of towards the end, but the end was always going to be kind of a crapshoot. And so I kind of always felt that, and especially Miami and New England, like it was tough. Like they always brought in good backers. The defense was always good. I'm trying to think, but yeah, that New England team defense-wise, I thought we were stacked. So that
Yeah.
was like Hightower, Jamie Collins, Juwan Bentley, like a bunch of those dudes. I was like, this is a little rough.
Mhm.
Dude, how funny was it for you? Like, dude, you're like New England, Miami, New England, Miami. You just kept going back and forth like sleepovers.
Dude, it was a joke. Like I had jokes with like the equipment staff, like the people upstairs that would like handle flights, they'd be like, "Oh, we'll see you next year. Like, we'll see you next training camp." Or the equipment guys will be like, "I'll just leave your locker here for whenever you get signed back." And sure enough, dude, I get signed back and be back like that year, like the next year. And so it was cool in the fact that going back, it wasn't like a brand new place. Like, I knew like 70% of the people there. I knew the building and stuff. And so it definitely made things easier, but it was kind of frustrating, but also a blessing.
How much truth is it to like you would get cut and then sign with the Patriots like the week before you play the Dolphins? Like, how much truth is it to like they'd sign people for like ammunition and game plans and stuff?
I think there is some truth to it. I don't know if I was necessarily ever in that situation. Maybe the end of 2019, Flo wanted me to come down for, I don't think it was just to play the Patriots, but I mean, Fitz and them, they were asking me questions. They were like, "Hey, like what this defense?"
Of course, Fitz was.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, they're probably doing this. You should look for that."
Oh, so this does happen.
Huh?
So this does happen.
I mean, I don't want to say I was signed there for that, but I've heard of cases of guys getting brought in, like say we're playing the Texans next week, they'll bring in a Texans practice squad guy that just got released, and like they might have him for a week or two. And so sometimes it looks kind of weird like that, but I don't think mine were. But I remember in 2019 when I left New England, they picked me up, and so I had to go. I don't think I had an option to stay because there's all those weird rules. But I remember I had to go in and tell all the New England coaches, they were having a defensive staff meeting. And I had to go in and tell them all, like, "Hey, I'm leaving. Like, thank you. Like, appreciate you guys." And I wanted to talk to Bill, or I wanted to say bye to Bill. And they were like, "Oh, he wants you to come into the defensive staff room and like say it to everybody." And so I go in there and I'm like, "Hey, I appreciate you guys, like all of you." And I had like a good relationship with them all. I'm like, "I got to go. Like, I just signed to Miami." And when I was talking to Bill was like, "Good luck." And then he's like, "Don't tell him our fucking plays." And I was like, "All right, sure." Right when I got there, I was like, "Well, this is basically everything I remember. So here you go."
This is everything I remember. Immediately folded.
Dude, 4 hours later, sitting down with Ryan Fitzpatrick. "So look, if you see the linebacker move back, he's coming." Like, it's like.
The funny part is I was at practice telling Fitz, I was like, "Yeah, like I think they're going to do this." And he was kind of looking at me like, "Well, yeah, I know that." And I was like, "Okay, well, like, does this help?" I think he's like, "Yeah, all right, thank you." And I was just like, "All right, I probably made you worse, but we'll see."
It's probably like, "What's this guy telling me what to do?"
I might have just confused you even more, but all right.
I'll just go fly a kite. It's fine. I'll be over here. Like, sorry about that. Like, also, that was an A+ Bill Belichick impersonation. That was great.
Yeah.
Were there any coaches or mentors that were special to you, whether it be like baseball, football career, that have made that difference in your life? We always hear, different mentors and whatnot, but were there any in Miami or any throughout your life that really made a difference and made it special?
I know you guys are Miami fans, so I hate to go back to the Patriots, but Matthew Slater.
Okay. Tackle, right?
Legend.
He is he's a man of man. He's a godly man. He was like a leader for the team. I mean, he baptized me when I was up there in New England. He actually ordained my wife and I's wedding. And so he's a big part in my life as just like a Christian leader. And he's just a dude. Like, he's a great guy to be around, someone you definitely want on your team. Like, that was one of the things about going to New England is like, you hear all this stuff. Like, growing up, I didn't like New England. I hated New England. I was like, "Oh, they always win." Like, screw Tom, like all those dudes out there. I saw how hard they worked and like the type of leadership they had. So then I was like, shoot, it makes sense. And so, but yeah, I'd say he is a huge mentor for me. And then I guess outside of football, I'd say my older brother and then my dad. I mean, they're both, easy answer, both my heroes growing up, always have been, always will be. But those two are guys that I definitely look up to.
One cool thing about watching Matthew Slater was like the OG special teams ace. So like everybody knew like he was destined to be a coach, but like every offseason it seemed like the Patriots would cut him at roster cut time. But they would be like, just wait 24 hours and they'd sign him back when they had room. And then I remember the last time they did it, Adam Schefter was like, "This is not the usual bringing him back in 24 hours. He's actually done." It was like year 17. It was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I remember everybody was so sad. I wasn't even a Patriots fan. I was like, damn, it's really over. Damn, I was looking forward to that.
Oh, I know, dude. But his career, well, I mean, I think he has 3 Super Bowls, and he had a great career. But I think the thing that makes him awesome is he's like an even better dude off the field, and I love hearing when dudes are like that.
Yeah. So question for you. I think the chat was wanting to know also. So like, did you have a welcome to the NFL moment? Like, what was that when you were like, oh shit, like I'm here?
Oh man. I would say my first preseason game when I was with the Giants, we were playing the Steelers, and it was like I played like I think the second half, like end of third quarter, fourth quarter when they put in like the younger guys, like first game, and so I was out there, head spinning, I'm like, oh shit, like I got to make a play, I got to do something, and like the second play, they ran like a stretch play to my right. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if the offense messed up, if our D-line messed up, but there was like 3 linemen like running at me. And I get over the top of the first dude. The second dude was right there, barely get over the top. Third dude right there literally blasted me, and I went flying like 5 yards back. It looked so bad on film. It looked like I'd never played football before. And so that was probably it was the first game, so that was definitely a welcome to the NFL moment. And then but I made the team that year and was playing mostly special teams. And so our opening game was in Dallas at Dallas. And I think the first kickoff return, I got ran over and I pulled the dude to the ground and got a holding call.
Oh
and
my
so
God, dude. The film room was probably insane.
I came off on the sideline, all the coaches are pissed. Like, who the fuck was it? Who got the holding? And I was like, oh, I have no idea. And they're a return team, and everyone just looks at me. I was like, oh, fuck. And so that was a rough one, especially like first game. I was like, I have no idea who got it. I don't know what happened out there.
It's like that Stephen A. clip. What? Me?
Yeah. No way.
Oh my God.
Stayed on topic there. Even so, throughout your football career, even at San Diego State, and throughout the NFL, was there ever like a guy that was out on the field and you just looked at yourself and laughed and was like, "Dude, I'm getting cooked by this guy."
Cooked by this dude?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
man.
Some dude you just couldn't handle, and you're just a broken man on the field.
Oh my gosh, I probably have too many of those. We were playing the Eagles my rookie year, and Lane Johnson probably had like you could have showed kids who've never played football before how to block, just showing clips on him blocking me. He was so in my head, dude. Like he was doing these like weird like vet moves, and like he'd like run at me and like grab my shoulder and spin me, and I'd be like, I don't even know, dude, but I was seeing ghosts all game, like literally couldn't get away from him, and he was all over me. And so that was a bad one. I mean, I think Ertz had I was covering him man to man, and something happened, and our DB made a break, but he beat me on the route. Next play, same exact route, cooked me again, touchdown. And so that was a rough moment. I don't know. I've had a few. I'm trying to think of dudes. I played Josh Allen in college, and he was just as big of a beast as he is now. Maybe not as much, but arm-wise and running, he was a dude back then too.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You're definitely a humble guy, But I guess those are two guys that are, Lane Johnson's literally Hall of Famer, man.
Lane Johnson's the first ballot Hall of Famer, like arguably the best right tackle of all time.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia, Zach Ertz. Philadelphia Zach Ertz was nothing to play with either.
No.
That man was nasty there. He played well when he went to Arizona too.
Yeah. I'll think of some more if I can.
Shit, he's playing good now with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Really good. Really well.
He just keeps on trucking.
Yeah. He's legit.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any crazy experiences with like a fan or a fan base, or like in the mentions or DMs?
In the mentions or DMs? No, not DM. I mean, I remember, speaking of that Eagles game that I was talking about with Lane Johnson, I knew I had a bad game, and everyone's like, don't look yourself up on Twitter. They always say that. For whatever reason, after that game I did, and I was getting just shredded by Giants people. Like one of them was just like Calvin Munson, and then it was just a picture of a trash can. I was cracking up.
I've used that one before.
Like, kind of funny. I'm like, it's a little messed
that's
up.
crazy.
Okay, I can take it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like just people, I don't have a Twitter anymore, thank goodness. But dudes would blow me up on that. Sometimes good, most of the time bad, but nothing weird in person. I remember like our bus would get egged. I thought Philly had the crazy.
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Absolutely.
Just that was nuts.
Post game,
Huh?
like post game, the bus getting egged.
Pre and post game.
Oh my heavens!
Oh yeah, it's not a play.
I thought it
with.
was sweet, but then we got smoked. So I was like, actually, we didn't get smoked, but we lost. But
Dude, I love the videos when somebody's actually brave enough to go to a Philly game in Philly for an opposing team, and they got the GoPro on the chest, and they're just like, dude, I see it. There was like 6-year-olds. They were like,
oh,
like fucking 6-year-olds, bro. It's like, holy shit.
My favorite memory ever of a fan is Buffalo. We fly into Buffalo. We're getting off the plane. We're getting on the buses, and like they would have fans like lined up at the airport to like, talk shit, whatever, flip us off. And we're literally leaving, and this like little 8-year-old is standing by this fence, and he's just like this the whole time. Little 8-year-old. What? His parents are right next to him, and he's just like, just straight face, not even looking. I was just like, what the fuck are we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm over in Pennsylvania and New Jersey right now, and man, I've been to my share of Eagles games, and dude, there's nothing to play with there. I've been to a lot of Phillies games. I was at some of the World Series games when they were there, and they would get on fan. Dude, they just believe in the stadium, minding their own business, and I've seen fights just break out just because they want to beat this guy's ass. Philly won the game.
Yeah.
And they just see the guy walking.
Another match.
Still didn't care. How are the Phillies games?
The same way, same exact way. It doesn't
Crazy.
change. Yeah, it doesn't change.
They must all be like that. Sixers, Flyers, all of them, like that shit.
I've been to Flyers games a lot. I've been to a few Flyers games, and it was fine there. But Phillies games and Eagles games interchangeable when
the hockey you get to see the fights during the match, so it's like okay,
you kind of get it out.
Yeah.
You get the testosterone out on the ice. Yeah.
Right.
So in 23, you added epilepsy to your cleats for the My Cause campaign. What made you choose that?
So my wife's cousin actually had a epileptic episode, and he passed away. And so it was my way to honor her and her family and him, and bring awareness to that foundation and stuff.
That's awesome. Sorry for her loss.
Oh, thank you. Let her know. But yeah, that was just. I didn't really know too much about it or have too much ties to it until kind of that whole situation happened, and then that was kind of a way to show support.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's real tough. When they came out with the My Cause My Cle, did they just do that for 2023? Did they continue that into 2024? Do you remember?
My Cause My Cleats?
Yeah, that's still happening, right?
Yeah, they've been doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you saying like each season do they do that?
Yeah, they still do it each season now.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like October, maybe.
Yeah, I don't.
But do you guys get to wear them in the game, or you don't get to wear them in the game, right? Just pregame?
No, you do get to wear them in the game.
You do. That's the one time they allow the different colors.
That's it.
Yeah, and so that's when dudes will wear the crazy color. Or they'll have like the kids from like a children's hospital paint their cleats and stuff.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
There's some guys that do cool ideas with it.
I think Blake Ferguson did something like that. Like somebody designed it for him, and he got it put on the shoe.
Oh, he probably did. Yeah. Did he do?
He would do something awesome like that.
He said he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake's a friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. He was our first. Blake was our first guest, and it was kind of funny because like we didn't really know what this was going to turn into. Like it was just us getting together talking football, and then it like 40 players later now we had no idea that this was going to happen. And like a week before we announced it, and Blake was like all on Twitter, and he was on Dolphins Twitter. He knows like the different personalities and whatnot. And he's tweeting at us. He's like, "Yo, I'll be the first guest." And we're like, "What the fuck? Like, no, bring him on." And he was the first guest, and just got the ball rolling with all these Dolphins players, man.
He's probably a good first guest to have.
Yeah,
Dude, it
we
was
got,
incredible.
Dude, didn't we go like 2 hours on that episode?
yeah, it was like 2 hours.
That dude can talk about a lot of stuff. He's able to keep a conversation going, knows a lot of stuff. He's a good dude.
Yeah, and if you know him and know like kind of like where he stands, he's very polarizing for a lot of reasons. So the chat was going crazy. And like beforehand, he was like, bring whatever up. I'm good. So like we're like 3.5 minutes into the episode, and somebody in the chat was like, does anybody know where Blake Ferguson was January 6th? And I bring it up on the chat, and Blake's on stage just like dying. He's like, Jesus Christ.
Where was he at?
The Capitol. The Capitol, brother. The Capitol.
Oh,
I don't think he ever gave us an answer on that, to be fair.
oh my God.
Not confirmed. Not confirmed, by the way.
Yeah, he's like,
Not
I'm not
confirmed.
going to confirm or deny. So, Calvin, when you were, you were speaking to like all different players and went on different personalities, like explain your time in Miami. Like, how was your time in Miami compared to other places in terms of camaraderie with the players and the coaches and all that?
Oh, I don't know. I really love New England football wise, but I think I had some of my most fun with like other players in Miami. I think I made some of my like best friends in Miami. And so, and I feel like that COVID year, it like sucked, but I feel like as a team, like we got so close because we couldn't really do anything else. So we would hang out with each other. And so I feel like that year was like one of the most fun years. Just, because we weren't supposed to be hanging out with people outside the building who weren't getting tested or whatever. So we'd all hang out with each other. Sealer was, he had his RV at that time. He was living in a camper. And so and he didn't have Wi-Fi. So when we would do Zoom meetings, he would come over to my apartment and we would sit like on opposite ends of my apartment and do our Zoom meetings. And then after our meetings ended, we'd play darts every day, like 1 or 2 games.
Nice.
Play a round of darts and then you'd go home. And that was like the whole year. And so it was super fun and just messy, because then you'd have to go in, get tested, go home, and then go back. And so then you'd kind of be sitting around for a while, all hanging out. And so that was a fun year.
So Joe's not on tonight, but he's dying to know. So we always do like a lifestyle segment at the end where we ask just something like nostalgic or throwback or just something fun, something different. But so Tuesday night we did a segment where we talked about like when you were 8 or 10, you had the epic sleepovers. What was your go-to item you had to bring to the sleepover? Like we did like, Nintendo, a certain snack. Like what was it for you?
The Rumble Pack.
Memory card.
A sleepover. I don't know. I was a big candy guy back then. I still am. And I was all about the snacks. Like if we're watching a movie, I want to be like stocked and loaded. And so I was big on, I'm surprised I didn't get fat as a kid with how much I ate, thank goodness. But I would say, I was never big on sleepovers. I always felt like I had a hard time sleeping. So if I didn't have I was kind of a prima donna, like an old man, I'd wake up, my back would be messed up. Be like, I'm not doing that. I want like a good, I hated going over to a kid's house and they'd be like, oh yeah, like the funny memes are like, oh, here's like a couch cushion to use as a blanket or whatever. Yeah. I didn't want to be in those situations. And so I made sure I had a sleeping bag, whatever I needed, a blanket, pillow, and then candy, of course.
Showing up with a rucksack.
What's the go-to candy?
A huge carry-on travel bag.
Yeah. I'm here. Drop the suitcase.
Blow up mattress.
All my medicine.
Don't mind me, guys.
All my medicine.
My nighttime routine starts now.
What's the go-to candy?
Oh, back then I would say sour Skittles.
Oh,
nice.
Fish.
Classic.
Always been a good kind of my home. I went to Cooperstown to play baseball as a kid, and that's where I found out about Swedish Fish. So ever since then, I've had a special place in my heart for them.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about we used to go find like the worst warheads that you could find and just like stare at each other and who would flinch first. Make all these brackets, like tournament brackets of who can handle it the most. And they used to come out with like special edition ones that you had to go to like a specific candy store to buy them. Like they come in like the black packaging, the gray packaging.
Oh yeah, like
they would like burn the roof of your mouth like a hot pizza.
Oh, dude, you eat half a bag of sour Skittles and your mouth is wrecked.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, that gross, feeling. I would still fight through it, but it happened every time.
Yeah.
I got to put this bag down no matter what.
Yeah. Going.
We got 2 more questions for you, then we'll get you out of here. The second one you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but the first one, so they bring out that report card every offseason where they grade facilities and like coaching staff, kitchen. The Dolphins are always number 1, and then you spent last year with the Vikings, and I think they're always number 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
How awesome are those facilities, and how awesome is the Dolphins facility, like this top tier?
Both of them are incredible. I would say the Dolphins is nicer, maybe because it's just a little bit newer. Their weight room was a little better. But both facilities were great. I mean, I've been blessed with the 4 teams I've been on, all at good facility. I mean, New England's facility wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. They had a great cafeteria. But I've heard other teams, like some teams don't have good cafeterias and like crappy weight rooms and, bad meeting. But Miami's cafeteria is probably one of the best, and then I think their weight room was the best, and just like facility locker room wise was definitely up there.
Is it what's the cornerback for the Vikings? Murphy?
Byron Murphy?
Byron Murphy. Okay, yeah. He said that, dude, when he left the Cardinals and came to the Vikings, they said, "What's the biggest difference? Is it a big culture shock?" Thinking about like geographically, he said the biggest difference is the Cardinals charge me for lunch every day.
Bro, I
was like, Jesus Christ.
That's
I heard that if you try to take food home, they like add it to your bill, or like
they get burned on that report card every year for that stuff.
That's insane. I think that's
crazy.
But
I don't remember the guy now, but I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But I remember a player got cut because he was like still in protein bars one off season. I don't remember who that was. Does anybody remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Somebody was stuffing their book bag full of protein bars and shit from the galley.
in Miami?
No, it was man, if I thought, I know who it was. Okay, it doesn't matter. Dude, it doesn't matter. Kelvin Benjamin.
Oh,
Kelvin Benjamin. Remember he was beating he gained weight. He had bad allegations about the weight anyways. Yeah. And then he went to the Bills, I believe. And dude, they were like, they said it wasn't the reason they cut him, but they called him like stuffing, or it brought to their attention that he was stuffing his bag every night full of protein bars. And they were like, look, it's just not a good fit. Was it the Bills or Giants? I can't remember. Maybe the Giants.
I don't know. He bounced around. He did go to the Bills though.
He was so good at Florida State, by the way.
Yeah, he's got no Jameis Winston slander, and we got
no Jameis Winston slander.
Yeah.
All right, last question. I'll let you go, and I'm only asking because you seem cool enough. You might answer it.
Okay.
Do you have any juicy Brian Flores versus Tua story?
Oh my God.
Oh my heavens.
That's a crazy question.
I don't. Oh man, I was just about to say I wish I did, but I also wish I didn't, because I don't know if I'd be able to tell that. But I really don't. I'm trying to think. I mean,
damn, Bobby, that's crazy.
I don't.
Bobby,
You don't have to answer it. He'd say you don't have one anyways.
Yeah. I'm trying
unbelievable.
I can make one up if you want me to.
No,
No, you don't do that, bro.
It would be great on Bleacher Report tomorrow.
It would be on Bleacher Report.
It would. We had Jonnu Smith on here, and he like shit all over the wings in Buffalo, and it went banana. Like,
dude, Adam Schefter tweeted it
out. Like, it was on Schefter's IG. It was, the clip was played everywhere. Like, yeah, it was crazy for us. Like, we all woke up that Sunday, because I think it was last season we were playing the Bills. And it was like 7 a.m. and Bobby's calling my phone nonstop. And I'm like, what's happening? It's Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Like,
I was pissed. Like, wake up, you idiot.
And like, he calls us all, eventually answer. I'm like, Bobby, what? And he goes, open Twitter. I'm like, what are we looking for here? And then as soon as I open, it's like Adam Schefter, like, Jonnu Smith said on the Dive Bar podcast. And I dropped my phone and I was like, what is happening right now? Like, that was a very surreal moment. So yeah, don't make up any stories, because the shit will catch fire.
We got that shit.
I need. Johnny could probably handle that kind of heat. I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
You know. Johnny's got his own stories going on right now. So
yeah,
we'll get into that right now. So, but Calvin, we appreciate the time, brother. It was great having you on. Just want to be mindful of your time, get you out of here. Anytime you want to come back on, we got a stool for you here at the Dive Bar. We appreciate it. And yeah, man, it was a great time just chopping it up.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Good good being on it, and I'll try to bring Jay Sanders next time.
Oh,
Hell yeah, dude. Absolute stand, bro.
Tough guy to get, but I'll see if I can do something.
Dude, just tell him the
stand.
vibes are flowing. No bull crap. We just want, hey, just guys being guys, man. That's his thing.
Absolutely, yeah. He
You
probably
tell him bring 2 beers.
yeah. He would. He probably would.
Hell yeah, that's why I want him. Let's go.
Oh,
That'd be
all right, I appreciate
Appreciate you, man.
hey, appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, Calvin. What
Dude,
a man.
what a guy.
Bro. What a bro.
A dude's dude.
Just a bro.
All right, boys. We got more Dolphins.
You like that John segment right into this?
Yeah, a little bit of a Dolphins heretics going on right now where we don't know if we can't. I mean, I don't know if it's so much that we can pay Jonnu. I think it's Chris Greer being stingy with his money. And
We can certainly pay him.
we could certainly pay him. And
Certainly.
I think it's a situation where we're looking at the books. I think there's a hazy outlook for 2026. Not sure who's going to be in leadership. Not sure who's going to be GM. Not sure who's going to be head coach. There could be other things going on. And you're not in a position where you want to extend guys and put it onto the next, the next administration if things don't go our way, which, we're never used to things not going our way for Dolphins fans, right? It always goes the way we want it
Everything
to.
always goes according to plan.
It always goes exactly the way we expected it to, 16-1 every year. But yeah, I think it's more of a situation like that, and it kind of just got leaked out. Teams talk, and the Steelers, John, who's a great player, put in a great season. Steelers are never tanking. They'll never tank. They'll always, the worst they'll be is 8-8, 9-8. And Mike Tomlin proved that they're looking for players. I think that's just the case of what it was, and it might get blown out of proportion.
I mean, also could be something to do with like maybe Greer has learned his lesson and he's done like renegotiating contracts 1 year after you just sign one. Every time we do it, it burns us. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think we should pay Jonnu and like keep him around. Like, I'm for actually paying him. Like he wants to be here. I think he lives down here. He went to oh my God, the school I can't remember now. FI.
Yeah, FIU.
Yeah, FIU. Yeah, so he probably wants to stay down here. Also, like no state tax, like all that shit. But like, maybe Greer's just like, yo, we're not paying anybody anymore. Like that's it. Like we're done with that.
Yeah, we don't know how this is going to go. Obviously, we don't know the outcome, but we can tell you from our side that we do know that Jonnu wants to be here. This is not a forcing his way out kind of thing. Jonnu wants to be here. His goal was to retire a Dolphin. It still is to retire a Dolphin, but so for me, it seems more of a Dolphins thing. It's more of a, like Go said, the books, they're looking at the future. They really tried to shift the age thing this offseason. But I don't see how you don't bring a guy like Jonnu back. I mean, great for the culture, has been at pounding the table all offseason, supporting like guys showing up and being all in. So, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It really is tough. And the funny thing is, we're always waiting on June 1st thinking we just had to deal with Ramsey.
I know.
Now look at us. It's so Miami.
I don't think it's us. I definitely don't. I don't think it's Jonnu looking for a trade. I think it's just they fielded a call because teams talk. That's what they do. Teams talk to draft night. Every team's calling every other team. Hey, what do you have available? This is what we can offer. It doesn't mean that like it's going to happen or it's something that they were thinking about. But if you hear a player like Jonnu Smith, who just put in that season that he had last year available, like teams that want to win are going to come after him. They want him there. He's a good player. And it's kind of funny that like you said, Greer learned his lesson about extending guys. And it's like, finally we have the guy that like, we're like, the fan base is like, yes, definitely extend him. He's like, no, I learned my lesson. It's like,
yes.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. We were told that he's not even trying to break the bank. So that's why it really just makes me think it's just not in the cards for them maybe. And then look, the fact that this got out, there's a reason. This didn't get out for no reason. Like this has been ongoing. Like as soon as the season ended, they had contract extension talk start. They were going good. Next thing you know, the Dolphins are playing hardball. Now we're 6 weeks later. Jonnu's house is on the market and there's trade rumors. So like there's a reason this got out now because it's been going on. I can say at least 6 weeks back, there was turmoil with the contract extension conversation. So there's a reason it's out. I mean, it's not for nothing. And I got to say this too. Like, I'm not saying he's going to get traded for sure, but like, don't sleep on the fact that it is Pittsburgh. Like, That's his home state. I know he's a Florida guy now. I can tell you he's a Florida guy now. He wants to be in South Florida, but born and raised Philadelphia. Arthur Smith, y'all remember a year ago, right here on this stage, this dude praised Arthur Smith. They love each other. He would ride to practice with Arthur Smith. So, I mean, I don't think it's just a coincidence that it's Pittsburgh.
It's not, but also Pittsburgh's going to pay for 2 tight ends that don't really block because they got Freiermuth. So they're going to trade for Jonnu and then do what?
And give us Darnell Washington. That's what, boy.
I think we'd all be. I think we would all be pumped for Jonnu to get his bag first and foremost. But if we have to move him, yeah, Darnell Washington sounds not bad. They got any corners they can send our way?
For dive bar, all intents and purposes, really want Jonnu to stay.
We're Team Jonnu. No, we're Team Jonnu. Don't get me wrong.
A little bit selfishly because might possible appearances in the future, but we do wish him the best wherever he goes, but we want him to stay. I mean, I think I'm just not, I'm being funny with the dive bar here, but I think the fan base wants Jonnu Smith in Miami. I think that's one kind of consensus guy. It's like the Zach Sealer extension. It's like a consensus move that everybody in the fan base is on board with.
Dude, after Schefter tweeted that, I haven't seen the timeline more unified on anything ever, except for everybody being pissed that we might trade Jonnu.
Yeah.
The whole timeline. I was like, wow, look at us getting along, agreeing on something for once. Like, well done, everybody.
I thought Dive Bar was Team Liam. Dude, I would love to have Liam Eichenberg on the podcast.
Oh, it would be great.
Are you kidding
and that's
me?
another one of them guys that, like, there's football and there's podcasting. And I feel like Liam might be one of those guys you'd love to have a podcast with.
Dude, imagine that he actually is Nancy Pomposi and he says that on the podcast.
He is, and he definitely would, I think. Let's make another burner after. It's fine.
Somebody else brought up they're getting a little worried about Zach Siller holding out or whatever. I think
no shot.
From what I heard, I think that an extension might be in order for Siller at some point. I'm not saying it's tomorrow, but Siller definitely probably get an extension. I know another name you can watch for an extension is Jordan Brooks. Another obvious, I mean, in my opinion, another obvious extension is Jordan Brooks. I mean, that dude's like, from what I hear, dude, this guy's in the locker room like running shit. He's like straight up.
He'll have a C on his chest.
Dude, he's taking tally of who's showing up on time. Like he's bullying people who don't. Like, dude, from what I hear, Jordan Brooks is like he's running shit in that locker room. So Jordan Brooks, I could definitely hear an extension coming him and Siller's way, which I'm all for. I mean, hey, you're trying to redo the culture. You're trying to have people that believe in what you're trying to do and can hold everyone else accountable. That is what the C on your chest is supposed to be for. That's why you assign 5 or 6 of those guys, because you can't be in the locker room all the time. So that's 2 things I would definitely be down for. I mean, I would be down for Jonnu, Siller, and Jordan Brooks. Anytime they want to do those.
Those are the 3 easiest, and you can even they can make more cap space doing it. So
yeah,
it seems odd. It seems odd.
The Jonnu one seems forced. It's kind of like, what the hell is going? Like, I don't know. It just don't make any sense. It came out of nowhere. Well, it came out of nowhere, like publicly, but like, even I, who knew that there was like, they were playing hardball 6 weeks ago, didn't think it would actually get public. Like, I thought it was just like one of those deals, like Dolphins being Dolphins, but like,
yeah.
Well,
the thing is, like I said, teams hear about these things, and these GMs know each other. They call each other, like, hey, what do you want for Jonnu? We hear you're not coming to an agreement. Nothing set in stone. It's just, they're doing their job. That's due diligence, doing your job. If you're not looking at Jonnu Smith, you're not doing your job. Every 31 other NFL teams should be calling saying, hey, what can we offer you?
What y'all think about Tyreek and what he said in his press conference and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Here, Eric, let me get you excited.
Now. No,
yeah,
we don't need Chucky on the team. We need Bill Zito running the team. We'll get this shit turned around in one off season.
Dude, speaking of the Panthers, dude, I would, I know that we're a Dolphins podcast first and foremost, but we got it, dude. I would love to get Big C's on the podcast, dude. The guy's a legend.
Oh, he is a legend. I see him at every game I go to. He's at every single game.
He's generational one right now on social media, especially with the biz stuff.
With Biz,
when you're winning, you're winning. I mean, that's bottom line.
Everybody ready around the Panthers, baby.
We have speaking of schedules, I was about to say we have that would be a cool episode to kick off the Stanley Cup Finals. But we might have a busy schedule coming up.
Yeah,
I don't know if
We might.
we
stacking
don't
the
look,
days.
we do have look. It's that time where OTAs are ending, and there's going to be that dead gap where it's a dead gap for everyone, but it's actually the best time for us.
A little in
And
between time.
We already have a couple players for sure lined up, and we have a bunch that we've been in communication with. But we found out today, right before this show, I don't want to get into it too much, but we're transparent. We are transparent.
Easy.
Bobby's just trying.
Look, the guy. Listen, the guy that we heard that we might possibly, and that's good enough for me, land next week would be an epic episode for us.
Do I know about it?
You were sleeping when this was
What
going.
the fuck?
Just go back and read your group later.
Hold on. You're gonna get a live reaction. Is it in our text?
Yeah. You should.
Is he
pick
kidding?
up on it right away.
Somebody said in the chat, Mike McDaniel confirmed. It's not Tua. I don't.
Oh, well, this would do numbers, baby.
Like I don't want to get ahead of us.
YouTube, though. Exclusively on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Send us to your friends. We appreciate all the love on X, but we're trying to build up the subscribers over here. So we appreciate y'all as always. But hit that like and subscribe.
This is 100% possible.
It's very possible.
We met him down in
Phillies.
in Davie at Billy's. Had some wings, had some beers.
Hammered.
Really cool guy. Like the nicest guy ever. Like completely different of what you would think Adam Gase would be like, just from like interviews and whatnot, and things that he said in the media. Coolest guy. Talked about golf, like just life, coaching, football, and talked about the 2023 Dolphins. He was awesome, dude.
Right off the greens, he came right over to Billy's, had a couple beers. JCap, current player. Yes, confirmed, current player.
Yeah,
that's all you're getting, though. That's it.
The people talk about drop a little teaser. Give me his initials. Like that just gives it. What the hell?
I'm not dropping initial. That's absurd.
That's an insane thing, dude.
I guess it's another one of those.
When he caught up in our group message right now, like his face should have given it away. No, Ingold at center.
Adam Gase is another one of those, though. I believe he would be a epic podcast.
Oh, he's a bro. Yeah. Oh, Bobby wasn't there. I forget. It was just us and Joe.
Yeah.
Yep. He'd be their last name.
He'd be great.
Adam Gase, surprisingly tall, very tall.
Yeah. By the way, he is tall. I got cooked for that. VBS, it said if you Google Adam Gase's height, it says he's like 5'8".
He's
and
not.
I was like 3 inches shorter than him. And VBS tweeted that, and I got fucking cooked on that one. I'm like, dude, I swear to God, he's like taller than Tannehill. He's literally taller than Tannehill.
That's hilarious. I promise, man. I promise.
Dude, I swear to God, if you Google like Adam Gase's height, it used to come up as 5'8", and he was like,
look at Ghost looks like a little person next to him, just getting towered.
He's 6'5". Easy.
Getting absolutely towered.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of the I'm not even going to drop that on the top. It doesn't even matter, dude.
Go
next
ahead.
week,
it sounds like
we did.
Bobby's just a little overexcited right now.
We all are. Don't kid yourself, Eric. Eric.
Somebody has to keep their composure around here because, as we know, everything is fluid.
Let me tell y'all a funny backstory though about this whole deal. We might already have 2 people lined up for next week. 2 people that have spent time in the rookie minicamp and off-season program with the Dolphins. 2 rookies
this year
already lined up. We do have that done deal. Next Tuesday, done deal. We have a Dolphin who has spent time in the building this offseason with the Dolphins. Did I say a Dolphin? Yeah. Anyway,
they don't a lot of words in subsequent order.
Anyways,
it doesn't matter.
Eric, do not big brain me right now.
You like that word, subsequent?
Yeah, no, not really. That's why I'm saying do not big brain me.
It's not just a hat rag, Bobby.
Yeah.
But listen, this one though, this has nothing to do with rookies.
Yeah.
Not a rookie. Easy.
Let me breathe. Y'all talk for a second. Let me breathe.
breathe. On the way out, I think we still might have a couple hats left.
I think so. I think there's a few left.
Possibly go blow up Joe Robbie's DMs. I think we still have a few left. He'll get them out to you. He's gotten very good at shipping hats and glasses. Yeah, we appreciate you rocking with us. Like Bobby said, I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag, but yeah, we got some real good stuff lined up for you. Confirmed things lined up, and then some more fluid things that could really really get everybody quite excited. I'll leave it at that. Any parting thoughts, fellas?
No, it's good double header. I'm glad I was available to hang out with the guys. Calvin's such a cool dude.
He was the
so cool, bro.
He was the man.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for all the support, obviously, over here and like with the hats. The hats, like, man, y'all always asking us when we're going to have more, and then we drop them and y'all buy them. And we appreciate that. It's awesome seeing them. We love the post. We love everybody loving the product. And thank y'all for always coming here and hanging out with us. And look, this is not a teaser. Reality is this is like the best time of the off season for us. And we're going to do everything we can. Trust me, I'm sliding everywhere I can slide. DMs, text, we're all working everything. So like,
remember, we all have jobs, but like these guys put in hella work for these guys. So like, yeah. You know, you guys' support is paramount, but like, just know the boys are grinding in the background.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not a teaser. Like we're gonna bring you the best content anyone can bring you for the next 6 weeks. Period. I can say that 100% confidence.
This is definitely a big time for us, and it's kind of like striking when the iron's hot. And we had a really good run with Mostert and Tehran, and that whole Cater Co. We had an awesome
Xavier
time.
Howard, Bill,
Sonny Michelle.
But we want to lock into current Dolphin players and guys who are in the camp.
And yeah, it's time to set our aim a little higher. You know what I mean?
Dan Marino, current Dolphin, coming on the podcast.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, yo, enjoy the Edmonton-Dallas game. We're rooting for Dallas tonight. Need them to just get one more. But again, appreciate everybody rocking with us, and we'll see you guys next week. Until then, fins up.
Tuesday, 7 Eastern.